Hey, it's Chris Cashman on Seattle's Waterfront, one of my favorite spots in all of the city. This pier was built in 1902, a hardworking industrial pier. Today, one of the most photographed spots in all of the Emerald City, and they just added a cool new sign. I'll tell you all about it tonight on Evening Magazine.
Learn all about Seattle's waterfront with brand new signage.
I'm St. Brian. If you have ever dreamed of escaping to the countryside without sacrificing luxury, we have some unreal estate in Sequim that just might bring your fantasy to life.
Plus, experience all the San Juan Islands have to offer through the lens of a photographer.
From the shadow of Seattle's Great Wheel, welcome to Evening Magazine. I'm Chris Cashman. Welcome to Pier 57, Miners Landing, one of the most popular photo spots in the city for a number of reasons. And boy, Seattle's waterfront, we are showing off right now. World Cup's in town, the cruise ships are lined up and down the city, and the trail from Seattle's Art Museum, the Sculpture Park, to Expedia's offices that has been redeveloped. It's easier to get around than ever before. Here's New Day Northwest's Kelly Hansen.
It's the latest viral hotspot taking over your social media feeds. Cafe Hagen's stunning new Scandinavian-inspired waterfront oasis. The only catch, finding it along this massive winding stretch of the Seattle shoreline can feel a bit like a treasure hunt. Luckily, a new wayfinding project is helping people find exactly where they need to go.
When people first come up to a wayfinding sign, they get the sense of, oh, fantastic. A, I'm gonna be able to find my way, and B, there's so much to explore here. That's what we hope, as well as knowing that there's now an amazing new cafe just up the road.
This isn't just a few maps slapped onto posts. This is a massive, multi-year redevelopment to reshape how we experience the entire shoreline.
It's a major extension to all of the waterfront regeneration that has taken place over the last couple of years, and now this project extends all the way from the downtown waterfront up to Expedia in the north.
The visionaries at Seattle-based Studio Matthews spent 3 years designing this custom system, balancing safety with high design. Beyond navigation, the signs serve as a deep look into local history, uncovering stories about the rich ecosystem sitting right beneath the surface.
I think it's the kelp sign that explains the kelp forests that can get up to 100 feet under the water. There's a whole biome, a whole habitat happening right under the water that we can't see, but really does need protection and is incredibly important to all of us out of the water too.
A seamless blend of utility and education, turning a simple walk around the water into an accessible open-air museum for everyone.
I want people to have their curiosity sparked and to want to dig a little bit deeper and learn more about what's happening right underneath them.
The new Cafe Hagen really is worth checking out. It's about a 20 to 30 minute walk if you start there from the Sculpture Park. If you haven't noticed, Seattle has a new official sign. This was actually unveiled on June 12th ahead of the FIFA World Cup. Created by Skokomish tribe artist John Edward Smith, the interactive landmark features striking indigenous artwork across every letter and sits prominently here at the base of the Seattle Great Wheel, a place for the community to gather, to take photos, to celebrate the city we all call home. Of course, as Seattle welcomes visitors from around the world for FIFA World Cup. The event concluded with a spiritual tribal ceremony, including tribal songs performed by members of the Skokomish tribe. All right, summer is here. Time to get out, maybe get away to the San Juan Islands. Our own Jose Cedeno made the trek, got the latest and greatest through the lens of a local photographer.
My adventure started with a ferry ride. One that was extremely scenic. And lucky for me, I picked the perfect day. It took a little more than an hour, and we arrived.
Here on San Juan Island, there's a lot of great places to visit, but I would say the most popular are Roche Harbor Resort on the north end of the island and Friday Harbor, which is where the ferry lands, kind of in the middle of the island.
But my mission on this trip is to drive around and discover. Wildlife and landscape photographer Jack Riley knows the area pretty well and was willing to share some must-visit spots.
The San Juan Islands are still a relatively hidden gem for the greater Puget Sound community. And I guarantee once you come here, you're gonna question why you never knew about it before. As a photographer, the whole island is essentially my backyard. There's always something new to see. There's a colony of sea lions out in the water. And it's also a popular spot for viewing whales from land. There's a ton of history here, from a little thing called the Pig War, which was a political conflict between America and Britain back in the 1800s over a pig. Believe it or not, at that time, the islands were jointly occupied by both forces. There's American camp, which is on the south end of the island.
I'm inside the camp right now. Oh my God, what a view.
It's on a bluff overlooking the Strait of Juan de Fuca. There are foxes in the meadows, and they are some of the only sandy beaches on San Juan Island as well.
This is beautiful South Beach.
You're in a large space of public land that stretches the better part of 3 miles along the coast, which transitions into Cattle Point. And there is a lighthouse there, the Cattle Point Lighthouse. The land there is gorgeous, honestly about a 270-degree view. And there's British Camp, which is on the north end of the island. It's a gorgeous forested area surrounded by madronas on the coastline. A lot of the historic buildings remain to this day and are preserved as National Historic Parks. There's also a 600-foot hill called Young Hill. You can hike up to the top, and there's a great vista from the top overlooking out to the Olympics and Victoria on Vancouver Island. For anyone that's looking for a nice local vacation, this is a great place for it. I can't imagine life without the San Juan Islands.
Thank you, Jose. Can't wait to get to the San Juan Islands this summer. By the way, the photographer Jack Riley has a great store there in Friday Harbor, Island Collection. Make sure you check him out. Now for what everybody's checking out. A superhero stumbles, a pop star soars, and the dragons are back. Here's Saint with the top 5.
Supergirl may be able to leap tall buildings, but she couldn't leap past expectations. The DC reboot opened with $38 million domestically, well below the $50 million plus Warner Brothers had been hoping for. The good news, Pixar is having no such problems. Toy Story 5 held on to the #1 spot with a massive $70 million weekend. Obsession, Jackass Best and Last, and Disclosure Day rounded out this week's top 5. Meanwhile, there's one superstar who absolutely did exceed expectations. Olivia Rodrigo's third album, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love, stormed onto the Billboard chart at #1 in its first week. And every one of the album's 13 songs landed inside the Billboard Hot 100's top 30. The rest of this week's album chart features Drake's Iceman, Ella Langley's Dandelion, Morgan Wallen's I'm the Problem, and Noah Kahan's The Great Divide.
In a war, all suffer.
And on the small screen, the Dragons are back with a vengeance. HBO's House of the Dragon returned with an epic naval battle for Season 3's premiere and declared victory for the week. Apple TV's Sugar, starring Colin Farrell, is second. Widow's Bay, I Will Find You, and horror favorite From round out the top 5.
Thank you, Saint. And as you might imagine, World Cup soccer dominating the TV ratings this week. Still to come on Evening Magazine.
There's no place like home, especially for this 5,500 square foot home in Sequim that comes with a trademark phrase. Evening Magazine is made possible with support from Kitsap Credit Union. Since 1934, Kitsap Credit Union has believed that together it's possible. Together, we shine a light on the people and places that help our communities thrive.
And welcome back to Evening Magazine from Pier 57. For more than a century, she has connected Seattle to the world, known as Miners Landing these days. Come check it out, so much to do here. But maybe you've dreamed about leaving the city behind. You want a slower, simpler life. Well, this next story might speak to you. Saint takes us to Sequim for tonight's Unreal Estate.
Hey, set on nearly 19 acres along the Dungeness River, this English-inspired manor estate comes complete with orchards, gardens, a commercial barn, and one thing you would never expect.
When I first bought this property, one thing that really got to me was the river.
That connection to the land shaped every decision Byron and Colleen Lamb Gunnarsson made over the last 2 decades. From the orchards and gardens to the riverside yurts and fire pits, they built a place that invites people outside and brings them together. Listing agent Monica Church says the nearly 19-acre estate fits more dreams than most.
So you could just have it as your primary residence. You could make it a bed and breakfast, a farm-to-table restaurant, a wedding venue. You could grow produce and then create products in the commercial kitchen and send them out all around the world. It's like your own playground.
This is Sequim, after all, nestled in the Olympic rain shadow, where sunny days are surprisingly common. A place where nature sets the pace, and this 5,500 square foot manor-inspired home follows suit. Towering oak beams were designed by computer and milled in Wisconsin.
The Wisconsin people actually came down with 4 people in a truck and put them all up in a single day. And they fit without any trimming, which was amazing to us.
Every detail tells a story. Antique chestnut floors salvaged from century-old Vermont cabins anchor the space below. The dining room table was made out of a Bellingham tree used for target practice.
Cool part is that there are bullets in each end of the table.
If Brian's favorite place is the great room, the kitchen belongs to Colleen, where a 2,000-pound Aga stove was imported from England and assembled piece by piece like a giant puzzle.
It's got 4 different ovens. This is 400 degrees, 300 degrees, 200 degrees, 100 degrees. The English homes would have these to heat their home and to make meals.
There are many more features. A barn that doubles as a helicopter hangar, a primary bath inspired by spas, and a child could really get lost in the extensive walk-in closet.
It's just been a joy, but we are ready for a new adventure.
And in perhaps the most fitting bonus of all, the sale includes the trademark rights to the phrase, "There is no place like home."
That was their branding and logo, and they copyrighted it. That copyright stays with the home.
Wowee, thank you, Saint. The asking price for the Riverside estate is $5.5 million. If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go call my money manager. Well, I'm gonna get a money manager, then I'm gonna get some money, then a money manager, then I'm gonna call him.
Still to come on Evening Magazine. Meet the aspiring 6th grade drummer that seriously rocks. Now in our 40th season, Evening Magazine shares local stories that make our community shine. Evening Magazine is sponsored by Pemco Insurance. Pemco empowers the Northwest to prevent the preventable. Learn how at pemco.com.
Welcome back to Evening Magazine from Pier 57, home to the coolest playground in the city. A lot of kiddos having some fun. Kiddos, I smell a theme here. Let's head to St. Alphonsus Parish School in Seattle's Ballard neighborhood. My friend Kelly Hansen from New Day Northwest has an inspiring story about a young drummer who's going to be the next big thing.
I'm in Ballard and I'm going to school. It's just like riding a bike. I get to meet a 6th grader. She's a rock star. Not like me riding this bike, but come on, woohoo!
Today we are at St. Alphonsus School in Ballard. We are going to see Victoria in 6th grade. She's an incredible drummer, and we're gonna have a little mini concert today with some of her peers in the audience.
It's go time. I'm Victoria, and I love to play the drums.
are so talented. When did you start playing the drums? Where did this passion and love for music come from?
It all came from Peppa Pig. I loved watching cartoons as every other 3-year-old. So I started bugging my dad that I wanted to play drums. And then he got tired of me because he thought it was going to be like a one-day thing, then I wanted a Barbie doll. So Santa must have noticed because he got me a pink toy drum kit. And then my parents found me a music academy called Musicalerias in Guadalajara, and I started playing drums there until now.
You came to this school not too long ago, and what do you want people to know about this amazing experience that you've had here?
It's amazing. I really like my teachers.
Well, we've got a lot of rock stars at St. Alphonsus. Victoria happens to have, maybe she's got the most performable talent among the rock stars here.
It's always such a joy to see that, to know that people actually liked it and to know that it was enjoyed. It makes me really happy, very grateful. I'm never gonna get tired of that.
Some talented kids there. The Fulcrum Foundation helps support schools and students across the state. You can find out more at fulcrumfoundation.org.
When evening returns, the mother and daughter turning children's fantasies into works of art. Evening Magazine is sponsored by Fulcrum Foundation.
And welcome back to Evening Magazine from Pier 57, one of the most fantastic spots in all of the city to take a photo. And speaking of fantasy, how would you like to let your kids be the stars of a fantasy? And I guess it depends which fantasy. Some of them are grim. But there is a photography studio in Renton where fantasy and reality meet in the middle.
From the outside, it looks like any other business complex. But behind these doors, fantasy becomes reality.
We want you to have something on your wall that's going to be meaningful.
Kate Johnson and Ruth Densley are the mother-daughter team behind Ruth and Kate Portraits in Renton.
I've always done photography, she's always done photography, but after my wedding, we blossomed into a career.
This dynamic duo has made a name for themselves by capturing the magic of childhood through their imaginative lens, creating captivating portraits that look like they're straight from the pages of a storybook.
It's essentially an extension of their imagination because it's already up in their minds, but now they get to actually see it physically within the world itself.
So welcome to the studio. First they'll come in and be very wowed by just the magical experience just walking in.
But what's an enchanted experience without a fairy godmother?
And the fairy godmother comes out and talks to them, and then they get to pick out their outfit that they want. They're usually given 2 or 3 outfits to choose from.
After some hair and makeup, it's time to be transported.
We're gonna have Ellie go ahead and sit right here on the throne.
During the photo shoot, I'm mostly very quiet. All right, we're gonna look right at Steve. A lot of it is very much involved with the fairy godmother because really the whole point of having a magical experience is that interaction between the fairy godmother.
While the photos are being taken, parents can watch in a nearby room.
We have a live screen camera where they can watch everything that's going on.
After the shoot, pictures are selected and sent off to artists to apply their magic.
We digitally paint everything.
The results of their work are more than just photographs. They're pieces of art that families proudly display.
And it keeps childhood alive as they grow 10, 15, 20 years down the road and you have a big, beautiful portrait on the wall.
For parents like Sarah, the photos not only capture her daughters, but the experience is something they will always share.
I wanted this to be just a moment for the girls. Like, enjoy being sisters, enjoy having this experience together, enjoy having a moment that's truly about you. It's seriously better than Disneyland.
Childhood doesn't last very long, but Ruth and Kate hope their photos capture a fleeting moment and create lasting memories.
We want kids to feel that sense of empowerment and be like, that's me. This is who I am, and this is how I want to be seen for the world.
How much fun. Ruth and Kate also do pet photography, and they're gearing up for Santa photos starting in November. That'll do it for us here tonight. Thank you. You've done it again. You've made it the perfect evening. We'll see you next time. So long from Pier 57.